Chuck Todd over at MSNBC News has got himself all worked up about the possibility of Trump getting the Republican nomination again. He is alarmed that Republicans aren't more concerned about all the legal battles facing the former president. I'd like to share a short clip with you and then get your reaction to it.
Of Meet the Press. Chuck, good morning. So I know you have Congressman Will Hurd on the program this morning. He is the candidate we just saw booed on the stage for talking about Donald Trump in a negative light. It did have the feel of Donald Trump's as the headliner and everybody else sort of on the undercard. Do you see anything changing the dynamic of this Republican primary where it is now, which is that the more indictments come in, the stronger Donald Trump gets?
Not right now, Willie. One of the things we're trying to focus people's attention to is what this calendar is starting to look like in the first 6 months of 2024, where we're literally going to be going back and forth. In fact, the day of the Iowa caucuses, a civil trial involving Donald Trump begins. There's all sorts of, you get a set of primaries, then there'll be a court hearing, there'll be more primaries, maybe the nomination is over, then we have some more court hearings, and that's what we know for now, and this is before any new indictments that could come from Jack Smith or from what's going on in Atlanta. And Willie, that's the moment I think that all of a sudden Republicans are going to ask themselves, what are we doing? But I don't think it's going to happen before it starts to play itself out. Like, I think it is astonishing to me how many people I run into who haven't fully comprehended the fact that we're about to do this. And I think that when it becomes clear that the public's uncomfortable with this, it may be too late, and he may already have the nomination.
Certainly unprecedented in the strangest presidential campaign potentially you and I have ever covered.
I'm guessing the reason so many Americans aren't worried about these indictments is because we've seen all this before. This isn't our first time at the rodeo. We saw how all this played out during Trump's first term. Democrats tried to investigate him out of office, and when that didn't work, their plan B is to indict him out of the nomination. But I don't think it's going to work. Check out the findings of a New York Times Siena College poll. And by the way, I would love to hear what you think in the comments below. If you like what we're doing here at Americans for Limited Government, please like and share this video and subscribe to us on YouTube and Rumble. Today's Trump's lead over Ron DeSantis is 37 points. Now, this is significant because in the half century of modern presidential primaries, no candidate who led his or her nearest rival by at least 20 points at this stage has ever lost a primary nomination. And here's what we know about the depth of the support and opposition to Mr. Trump from the New York Times poll and why it's so hard to beat the former president. MAGA voters are populist, they're conservative, they're blue collar, and they're convinced the nation is on the verge of catastrophe. And these MAGA voters are exceptionally loyal to Donald Trump. Trump's MAGA base represents 37% of the Republican electorate. They strongly support him in the Republican primary and have a very favorable view of him. The MAGA base doesn't support Mr. Trump in spite of his flaws. The voters support him because they don't seem to believe he has any flaws. 0%, not a single one of the 319 respondents in the MAGA category on the poll said that he had committed serious federal crimes. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below.